Welcome back to the 562.org. It's Tyler.
And Eli, and this CIF State track video is brought to you by the fine folks over at Naples Rib Company. And all of our track and field coverage this year is sponsored by Joe Carlson and Debbie Hughes.
And we made the trip up north to Clovis like we always do, the 2025 CIF State Track and Field Championships here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. And it was a hot one. Temperatures reached triple digits today, so shade was at a premium for sure. Wilson senior Lauren Webster ready to get this party started in the long jump, where she is the defending state champion, and she got out to a great start, not just for herself, but setting the tone for the Wilson Bruins.
Yeah, setting the tone and also setting a solid mark with a 19:07 and 3/4, but came back later with a personal record of 21 and 1/4 to finish atop of the podium. That's her first time going above 21, and she's a repeat champion. 10 big points early for Wilson.
Yeah, it's not easy to win a state championship, much less do it 2 years in a row. Shout out to Lauren Webster right there. The poly duo of Joy Anderson and Jill Wetland in the girls' high jump as we stay in the field. Anderson in her first of two events today, and she would yabba dabba do her thing, clearing 5'6" to finish in 5th position for Long Beach Poly, again getting valuable team points. And then Wetland, the more experienced jumper, she's been at state before, didn't make it last year, but she cleared 5'7" for Poly to tie for the gold. Congrats to Wetland, a two-time CIF champion, now a state champion. And now to the track, the 4x1 relay, another future Crimson, Layla Holland, leading off for Long Beach Poly in lane 3.
And then as we see, she'll get over the track, grab us off to a good start, making up that stagger before passing over to Nevaeh Lewis. Definitely this fun event to kick things off in the racing events. Lewis going to keep Poly in it down the backstretch. A new lineup with Jalen Hunter and Brooklyn Lee out injured, but Poly just feels like they could switch anyone in and still have success over there, Tyler.
Yeah, they've kind of had to roll with the punches on both sides, boys and girls this year, honestly. Nia Brooks is next for the Track Rabbits. She's right there in that top 4 as you see them hit that curve and come around. Not the smoothest pass, as Araya Betty is going to run the anchor leg. She does eventually get the stick for Poly, and it's several teams in contention here. Oaks Christian's going to win it in lane 7. Poly just 1/10 back for silver as they're going to run a time of 46:18, and not a bad start to the day for the Track Rabbits as they get 8 points in that first running competition. And we go to the girls' 100 hurdles. Poly's Cadence Bain in lane 9, Wilson's Kaylin Edwards in lane 6, both wearing white. And Edwards, the CIF Southern Section champion in this event, but a very talented hurdles field this year at state.
Edwards had the early lead, but Anissa Bowen-Fontenot, the defending champion, comes back to win it in 13:07. Edwards third in 13:79. Some real competition in that one. One of our closest events of the day.
And Cadence Bain, the happiest 6th place finisher you'll ever see. The sophomore PR going sub 14 at 13:99, and she was geeked about it. Love
Someone
that
hugged that girl.
Now to the boys' 110 hurdles, Lennox Newton in lane 2 for Poly. The junior for the Jackrabbits, a really strong showing with a tough trio ahead of him. Freshman Jasir Fontenot from San Diego, he's really Himothy in this event, running a 13:21 to set a new meet record. Newton outran his position, finishing 4th in a 13:82. He'll be back for the Jackrabbits next year, so a strong season for him in the hurdles.
Back to the Wilson Bruins, it's sophomore Caden Burrows in the boys 400. He's running in lane 6. The only individual sprinter that we have from Long Beach and a terrific talent in this field. Servite's Jalen Hunter gets out super quick in the black, and it's Jack Staldman in the yellow with one to watch out there as well.
And as they round the curve here for the final 100, it's Hunter and Staldman from Temecula Valley battling it out. Burrows trying to keep pace with those two, as this is a very fast race. Staldman's going to win it in 46:02. Burrows a solid 5th place finish in 47:46. And again, only a sophomore is Caden. Now to another Wilson sophomore in the girls 800. It's Shariah Lewis-Williams, who's trying to get out quickly in her group and get towards the front of that pack. Carlsbad's McKenna Hurst pacing the field in this one as she challenges the meet record. Shariah back in 5th at the midway point of this race.
Herbst, a great run, 2:02.28, less than 3/10 off Amy Weissenboss' record. And then you see the pack behind them. Lewis Williams just edged out at that line. She takes 5th with a 2:09.42.
Yeah, and then we will switch over now to the boys 800. Wilson Jr. Wyland Obando wearing 1 for a reason. The top qualifier, he was the state runner-up in this event last year, so definitely going for gold. This would end up being a very close race, and Obando would get bunched up in traffic for most of it. You see him boxed in right here as we're at the midway point. He's going to have to find some daylight if he's going to move up, and eventually he would. He turned it on for the last 200, getting some opportunity to move to the outside, and here he comes. It's a 4-wide sprint to the finish. Just an awesome race. Obando trying to hold off Jesuits' Lucas Alberts there in the red and gold, and yes, sir, he would do it. Obando gets the gold by 0.08 of a second, 1:51.24. You can see the times right behind him for the individual state title, and a great season continues for Wyland Obando as he ends up right on top of that podium, Eli.
Yeah, second a year ago and atop of the podium this time as a junior. Salute to Wyland. I'm sure he'll be back for more as a senior. That's a young guy right there. And then we had a trio of Long Beach girls in the 300-meter hurdles. Lane 1, it's Polly's Joy Anderson. Lane 9, it's Wilson's Sanaya Bernardo. Lane 5, it's Wilson's Kaylin Edwards. She won the event in 2023. And a really terrific field in this event. Edwards among the favorites. And she got out well to challenge for the lead here in the first 100.
Yeah, but there's some really good hurdlers, even the ones that aren't from Long Beach that are in this race are pretty darn good. Carlsbad's Morgan Herbst, we saw her earlier. She's in the all black in lane 6. She was balling out in the 800, and she's going to be right there in the lead, contending with Edwards. They're stride for stride. Herbst is eventually going to take off. She will beat former Wilson Bruin Ebony Collins' meet record of 40.1 set back in 05. Herbst takes gold in 39.64, just a bonkers time. Edwards, a clear second place finisher in 40.61. So still a terrific showing for her. And Bernardo, pleased with her time of 41.84 for 6th. Anderson 8th in 42.39, and just great to see 3 Long Beach athletes make the state final in the same event. Really cool.
Just points all around for Long Beach, and now it's dark all of a sudden, and then we go to the girls 4x800 as the Bruins are closing in on the team title. Elisa Rodriguez leads it off, and she is right there at the front after 1 lap. And then second leg, it's going to hand off to Riley Jones. Takes the baton somewhere in the sea of runners.
She's in there
can't find her, but she's in there somewhere. We trust you, and there she is popping out. Top 4 begins to separate here, but the Bruins lead the chase pack as Jones hands to Kimani Tyndall, who holds her spot in 5th for Wilson.
Yeah, you can see coming around, she's going to be right there leading that chase pack behind that front 4. Some contact on the final exchange, a bit of a pile up there. Shariah Lewis-Williams will anchor it for the Bruins, running her second 800 of the night for Wilson. So, those legs were probably getting heavy, especially with how hot it was today. A lot of mileage in this meet. Top 2 teams both break the meet record as Corona Santiago takes gold. Wilson checks in at 4th place, 8:59.02. Essentially clinched the team title at that point, but more on that later. Jordan Kincherlow is going to lead off the boys 4x8 for Wilson, trying to find some space, and eventually he's going to end up kind of in the middle after that first lap. As we're getting down towards the end of the meet, as you mentioned, it finally got dark, which we needed the break from the sun, honestly.
Not that much cooler though, but when he hands to Cash Obando, the Bruins are looking in 3rd place. But Cash was looking to make a move. He had a really nice second leg here as he puts Wilson into the lead after his first 400, looking to trek along with that leg.
Yeah, as he definitely came out hot and wanted to get the Bruins up towards the front, and he's going to be the first one to pass the baton. It's Jai Petrie on the 3rd leg for the Bruins, but there is competition right behind, as things are going to heat up with that top 5 all kind of bunching together, but Wilson still very much in the mix, obviously, in this race. Wyland Obando on the anchor. Speaking of mileage, he'll get the baton in 4th. Can the 800 champ make the comeback? You can see he's in 5th spot as we head into the final lap.
The top 3 teams all break the meet record, believe it or not. Wilson takes 4th in a time of 7:38.30. Wyland Obando, a great anchor leg, like we said, plenty of mileage on him. And then we head to the girls 4x4, where Wilson's the favorite in lane 5. Long Beach Poly is in lane 1. Like we said, Long Beach runners all over the place, and it's Brooke Blue running the lead leg for Wilson. Aaliyah Stokes starting out for Poly. As you see them turn the first corner, Wilson and Cajon very even for the top 2 spots as Blue hands it off to Eileen Washington. Araya Betty is the second leg for Poly.
Yeah, and it's still going to be Wilson and Cajon, as Kaylin Edwards going to get the stick for the Bruins on the 3rd leg, and it was a good 3rd leg if you're a Wilson fan. Edwards puts the pedal down to open up a big lead, as she's going to hand to Vernado on the anchor, and you can see the gap now between Wilson and Cajon. There they are. Nevaeh Lewis anchoring for Poly in the middle of the pack in this race. Vernado handled business on the final lap as Wilson defends their state title. 3:36.75 is their time. Poly comes home in 6th. 3:46.91 is their time. And congrats to the Bruins back atop the podium and also back atop the Golden State as team champions the 3rd year in a row. The Wilson girls are the best track and field squad in California, and they are not shy about it. We love to watch them celebrate. But let's pause the celebration for now. Still got one race left. We have the boys 4x4, Polly in lane 5, Wilson in lane 7. Gus Armstrong leads off for Polly, Charles Chapman for Wilson, and Servite, you can see in the black, gets out super fast in this race.
Yeah, all year long you have the meets build up into this one, and we're ready for the result. As you see the closed out the top, Polly gives it to Jarius Hill, Wylan Obando on the second leg for Wilson in 5th. Darion Shufford next for Polly in a very close race. Kaiser Burrows on leg 3 for Wilson. As you see, we turn the corner.
Yeah, a lot of teams we knew were going to be battling in this one, and excited to close the meet with this race. Servite's going to lead it after 3 legs, but Polly's Noah Smith is a killer in prime time. You can see not much of a discrepancy when he takes the baton. Caden Burrows going to anchor for Wilson in 5th, and Smith gets to work for Polly, going for that lead right away. That stride never lied, Eli, as he gets to the front of the pack on that backstretch.
Mama, there's a Smith in front of me. Awesome action to end this meet. Smith with 3 teams on his heels, but he would not be denied, chasing it down for the win, and they got it. 3:08.68 for gold. Wilson 5th in 3:10.55. Also a school record for them. The season hasn't been a smooth one for Polly, but to end the season with a performance like this in a high note is truly special. Even Servite had to show some love. As you see, just plenty of love all around to end out the season.
Yeah, Polly'd been chasing the school record in that 4x4, and they got it on the last race of the season. That is a happy group of Jackrabbits after that performance, and shout out to the girls who tie for second place with 28 points as a squad. But Eli, the 3rd year in a row, the state title belongs to the Wilson girls. 3 of their 6 state titles have come in the past 3 years, and they are second in state history in titles. And the 46 points they earned in this meet, the most they've ever won at the state meet. So congratulations, another incredible season for the Wilson Bruins, and another really fun track season in Long Beach. That's what we do. Thank you for riding with us all season long. The 562.org is your home for all Long Beach sports.